Hey, what's going on, superstar? This is Angus of Boss Fitness. Thanks for stopping by to check out this video. Obviously, what caught your attention in some way, shape, or form is just the whole aspect of what the 3 stages of flexible dieting actually are. So, for some reason, people think that when it comes to flexible dieting, if it fits your macros and just this way of doing things, they seem to think that it's all about trying to make it all about just eating a shitload of Pop-Tarts and pummeling your face with heaps of sugar and just making everyone else feel bad because you're now in this place where you aren't dieting now, but you're eating all this sort of processed food or whatever, and that we take into account no sort of record of eating healthy, nutrient dense food and whatever. So obviously that's not the case. I want to give you some really clear insight into the 3 stages that every flexible dieter will go through so that you can see where you're at personally, but also just the stage where obviously everyone should get to when it comes to making this lifestyle successful for them so they can leave dieting behind and so they can actually have a successful relationship with food. So I'm going to take you over to the whiteboard, drop some knowledge on you, and it's going to be really, really cool to just give you some really cool insight here, okay? Let's get stuck into it. Alright, so I've got my whiteboard set up here, nice little pyramid as you can see, and clearly shows the rate of progression where someone should go through. So we've got stage 1, which is a newbie, we've got stage 2, which is a Padawan, and we've got stage 3, which is a Jedi Knight. So what I'm going to do now is explain what each of these mean, and hopefully from this you'll be able to see exactly where you're at personally. So stage 1, this is where someone is fresh to the flexible dieting lifestyle. You've discovered that you can eat ice cream and chocolate and donuts and still get lean, and as a means of that you go out of your way to include these foods daily. You make it clear that you're loving this lifestyle on Facebook, so you're posting photos and all that sort of stuff. You might even start debating with people online who say that sugar is bad or that you can't eat carbs after 6 and whatever, and you're finding that you're actually calling clean eaters bro, because there are like a lot of the times that I've seen people actually do that. So this is stage 1, and I always encourage people to try and get out of this stage fairly smoothly and quickly so that you can get into stage 2, which is the Padawan. So if you're in this stage, this is where you're less frequently telling the world about your donut consumption, you're posting less about all your awesome desserts or whatever. You're proving it works because you've gotten some awesome results, but people still think you're on something like some sort of U-Butte supplement or fat burner or whatever, or that maybe you're even genetically blessed. You've realized that it's actually all about variety and moderation and including nutrient dense food just as much as these sweet foods that you were smashing back in stage 1. And as a part of this, what's happening is that you're feeling awesome about your relationship with food now, and you're in a place where you're establishing some great consistency, and you're not stressing out in terms of what time you're eating, the timing of meals, how big your meals are, portion control, stuff like that. Like, you basically got your shit together and you're loving it. So effectively, in the words of Star Wars, obviously, a Padawan hasn't become a master of the Force yet. They need to progress to stage 3, and this is where they become a Jedi Knight. So in this sort of scenario, what I believe it to be, this is where you're over it in terms of eating chocolate and ice cream every single day. You realize that you actually are a bro, okay, deep down within you, who eats pretty much clean. Okay, I put that in hashtags there, so we all know what that means 80% of the time anyway. So in other words, you're kind of eating similar to how you were before, because most of the time I find that when someone starts the flexible dieting lifestyle, they've actually had experience with eating clean or eating super healthy in the past before. The thing here though is that because they cut out all of this processed food and whatever that they actually enjoy, they tend to binge on it and stuff like that. So that's obviously a thing of the past for you. You're now at a stage where you've got great consistency and stuff like that, and you find that you now are actually educating others to move past stage 1 quickly and effectively to be able to advance their way through from ding 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 to stage 3. You're at a stage now where you're only just tracking here and there using MYFITNESSPAL or MyMacros or whatever, and what you're finding though is that you can actually guesstimate really easily. So in other words, you're actually now at a stage where you can look at something and go, yep, that weighs about 100 grams, yep, that's about 150 grams, and there's no OCD or anything like that anymore. You're just going with the flow and you're enjoying life. You actually pretty much are eating the same foods every day anyway, so you've got your arsenal of your key foods that you eat. Might be a few key meats, a few key veggies, and a few key fruits, and maybe a protein shake or whatever. And yeah, because it's just cheap and easy and convenient for you. And when you're at this stage, this is where you truly are someone who's built a lifestyle out of it. You can now do it without thinking about it. So technically you've kind of built the skill of driving, but except when it comes to food. In other words, you're not thinking about the process of changing gears or whatever. You're just in complete flow and you become an absolute boss, aka a master of the force. Mwahaha. So bam, there we go, superstar. I really hope you enjoyed gaining some key insights into the 3 stages of the flexible dieting lifestyle. As you would have heard there, few people don't actually get to the bottom stage because they get so stuck up at stage 1 that they basically put themselves into like a dieting mentality. In other words, because they go too hardcore with, oh, I can eat sugar and stuff now, whatever, they go overboard, they feel shit. Yes, they may be hitting their targets and stuff like that, but because their inner health isn't being looked after properly and they took it to the extremes, they see it just as if this is like a normal diet, and therefore they don't give it a chance to really stick to it in the long run. And then obviously what happens here is the person falls off track, they don't get success, and they add this to the list of stuff that they've done that didn't work. So obviously with this, if you actually are new to the flexible dieting lifestyle, or you have some questions in terms of just how it all works, feel free to drop a comment below. Let's get the conversation going. And hey, if you're a returning subscriber who found this video valuable, give us a thumbs up. We'd love to hear what you found valuable. And also, for those of you who are new to the channel, really appreciate you stopping by. Would absolutely love to continue having you watch my videos, so make sure you press subscribe, and that way you can be in amongst the action. And hey guys, as well, obviously each of us are on social media. Please, if we aren't yet connected on Facebook or Instagram and whatever, make sure you check out my social links below and let's share each other's journey, okay? Thanks so much for watching this video. See you next time in the Boss Fitness world.